Yeah, in this session, let's try to solve, as promised, some of the questions under mean for data type 3. So the example that we are going to use is in this table. We are just solving the mean for data type 3 as we following the session that we did in the previous session, right? So we are going to do this simple example and then to go over the concept and how to solve it when you meet it. So yeah, so the data type comes in this format: range and frequency counts, right? So what do we need? We say that this is our range, right? So we don't need the range of numbers. So in order to find the mean, is we need finally have to end up coming to something of this format. Mean equals to sigma fx over sigma f. But for data type 3, we rather have what? Assume mean plus sigma fd over sigma f. We explained that in the previous video for data type 3. Right, so we need to find the assume mean and the sigma fd, and our fd is just like our deviation from the selected mean. So some of the question will give you the assume mean at the start, but then mostly when they don't give you the assume mean, we have a way of doing that, which is the step that we are going to follow. If the assume mean is given to you already, you are free to go. Now let's try to continue. So we need to find the midpoint, right? You need to find the midpoint because we cannot work with all the numbers in the range. So we need to come to one value within the range. You need to decide on one value, and the perfect value to decide on or to accept to use is the midpoint of the values, right? Of the class midpoint. We talk about that. So that it represents the middle value represent the entire class. So yeah, so 10 to 14, the middle class, we say you do 10 plus 14, then you divide that by 2, then we have 12. That's how you find the middle value. So we have 15 plus 19, so that answer divided by 2, then we have 17. Let's continue. So 20 plus 24 divided by 2, we have 22. So it's as if we are adding 5 but you just let's take time to 25 plus 29 divided by 2, 27. We have 27. The last one, 30 plus 34 divided by 2, we have 32. So we have our midpoint. So our midpoint is basically our x. But then after finding the midpoint, we know that because we are dealing with a range of, there may be some deviation. So we need our deviation. We need to do how it deviates from our mean, assume mean, right? And if the assume mean is not given to you, we discuss how to find that. So in the previous session, we talked about how it will be found when we meet two items in the middle. This time we are going to have one item in the middle. So assume mean, we need to find our assume. If it's not given to you in the question, there's a way of finding that, right? So you move from the top to the bottom, right? From like you move topwise and downward, right? Like that, how we said it. So if the if this mid we cancel this down one, we cancel this top one, we move towards, we cancel this one, cancel this one. At the end of the day, there's only one item left in the middle. Yeah, only one item left in the middle. That middle item is your assuming. So yeah, our assuming is 22. So we are going to do the deviation. The deviation is how each of the class midpoint deviates from our assuming, right? So it's going to be, so let me cancel. After canceling, that one was just to help us find the assuming when it's not given to us. So now let's try to find assuming deviation. You need to find the deviation x minus a. So I know our deviation is d, right? So what do we have? X minus a, that's 12 minus 22 is negative 10, but 12 minus 22 is negative 10. Take your time and use your calculator to do everything so that 12 minus 22 is negative 5. Here, the assuming is easier. We say that it will definitely tend to 0. And then this one, 27 minus 22, you are going to get 5. 32 minus 22, you are going to have 10. Right? This is it. Now, but then we need to find a sigma fx. We need to keep sigma fd here. But then this is just D, but we need to find FD so that we can sum all the FD. It's just like that's what at the top here, FD. So we find the FD for each of them, right? So for the FD, our F is the frequency, times the deviation. So 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. 12 times negative 5 is negative 60. 0 times 27 is 0. As we said, right? The assuming always cancel out. That's why we need to add them at the end of 5 times 41. So we have 41 times 5. I have 205. 205. 30 times 10, that's 300. Now we need to find our sigma FD. So we need to add all the D together. Sigma meaning sum. Right? So we have negative 20 plus minus 16, because the next one is plus 0 plus 205 plus 300. 300. So I have 425 as my sigma F FD, and our sigma F is already here. Sigma F, it is 112, right? So we say our mean is equal to, assume mean plus calculated mean. Calculated mean is sigma FD over sigma F. Simple like that. So our A is 22 plus sigma FD. What is sigma FD? We have 425 divided by sigma F, that's 112. Right here, 112. So let's say, so we have 22 plus, so we have 425 divided by 112. So I have 3.7946. So if you add this thing to 22, we are going to have 25.7946. So two decimal place, right? As we discussed, 25.79. This is our mean for this data set. You see that the mean will always fall within the range from 10 to 34, right? That's the entire range from 10 to 34. 10 to 34. So we need to find the mean within that range. So yeah, so this is our mean for this data type 3. Yeah, so yeah, take your time to watch the previous video and understand, and come and follow this example, and then try the rest of the examples on your own. And then there'll be sessions that will be solving questions for you from the textbook and the past question. Kindly keep in touch so that you follow on that, so that you can solve your concept.